I know that some people won't.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we're officially started now, Sharon.
Hello, good morning.
So, hey, to the people that aren't normally at this meeting, I did invite a whole bunch of new people because I discovered that even though I was updating the locator map, somehow I wasn't updating the listserv list. I think I just got busy in space. Right. So then I added a bunch of people. I did get some bounce back, so I'll have to see if I can fix those. Anyway, good morning. This is the statewide California Community College Teacher Preparation Programs meeting. We do these, when we're funded, we usually do them once a month. But since we haven't been funded, we do them kind of quarterly or every other month, or when we have something that we know people want to share. Normally I ask you guys to, start off in the chat. Oh, I didn't put the, I was going to put the agenda in the chat. I think you guys got it, but, let me stick the agenda in the chat real quick.
I can. Okay.
So usually we ask people to put in the chat the, like their name, the college they're from, anything else you want to share, really. But so we got an update from the chancellor's office. I think she called me last month or something. So it looks like that, yes, it really is true that we'll be getting that money I talked about last meeting. It's 10 million ongoing is what they said. They aren't going to officially announce anything until or unless it goes into, I mean, it'll be in the state budget. What my words are not
Bobby,
what?
I was going to ask you if you want to, we do have a couple of new people I haven't seen. I don't know if you want to do super quick intros.
Yeah, that'd be great. Sorry, I'm not speaking.
No, totally.
No, I get excited about all the talk of color and greens and grays and skin and
no, totally fine. Welcome everybody. My name is Yadira Arellano. I, alongside with my partner in crime, Bobby, and a couple of colleagues here, Kim and everybody, we put together this meeting, like Bobby mentioned, for the state. When we were funded, we did them every month. And what we do now, for those of you that are just coming in, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. I think this is an important group that we have to keep going just because of the crisis we're facing with teacher preparation and, teachers in California in itself. So we serve as a community support for all the colleges. We share, whatever we have in our campuses, share out. Bobby is really good. She is our state coordinator for the website. And so we keep you informed of anything that's happening in the state. And with that said, I am Yadira Arellano. I am a faculty at El Camino College, Rio Hondo College, and at Antelope Valley College, and currently working with Bobby on this. I know we're not working. I don't know. This is we
are working just on a volunteer basis.
We just do it. No, volunteer basis. We do it because it's important and because I think it's something that we have to keep going. For the sake of TPP. And so we're glad that you're all here. And I'll go ahead and allow you guys to introduce yourselves and what college you come from.
I'm going to go next just because I've already been talking. I am Bobby Becca. I used to be at El Camino College for like 16 years. I was their director of grants development and management. I moved over to the Kern Community College District getting close to 2 years ago. There, I'm the director of grants and resources development. I have to remember my title. And in that capacity, we were, as a group, we wrote 3 different legislative budget requests and submitted them. And the last one, the last 2 actually, we submitted through me via the Kern Community College District through Bakersfield College. So that's kind of how I ended up. And now the chancellor's office kind of contacts me about this stuff, partially because I was the one who submitted the last two legislative budget requests. So I just wanted to get that background out there. So Kim, you want to go?
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Kim Barker. I am the Department Chair for Education and Child and Family Education at Antelope Valley College, and I'm so happy to be here and see familiar faces and to share this space with you. So thanks so much for inviting me. Megan?
Happy Friday. I teach education classes at Long Beach City College, where I serve as department head. We have a reading and teacher prep combined department separate than early childhood, and we work together on the society and education guided pathway. We just found out our pathways are called career and academic pathways, or CAPS. So and I'm curious if anyone else is doing guided pathways and what your education path is included in, if there's any chat time later. I also get to serve as ACTEP president. I'll share about an event in the chat later.
I'll go. I'm Sharon Chadiron. Oh, wait, am I on mute? No, I'm not. So I don't have to remember to turn it on because I never turned it off. I am Sharon Chadiron. I am, I don't know, we call it like the 7-Eleven of teacher prep, meaning I am department chair and the director, and then I also do the work because there's only 2 in our department. And we used to be combined with counseling, but about 10 years ago, we cut that because working with 2 departments is tough. And we do really great when we have outside funding. When we don't, you know, I look at it and how much a barista makes at Starbucks, because we're adjuncts. We're essentially adjuncts. And so it's, you know, and even when you have a grant, you write it up and you say, if you give a job to a full-timer, they get whatever it is for non-instructional, and the part-timer gets half of that. And so that seems really unfair. But anyway, that's just how it's been. And we continue that. And so I lost my funding last year. We had to submit, I think it was something called SURF. And it was really for career technical education. And it was like a popularity contest. It was like teacher preparation was second to last on the list. And so that was really upsetting. And you've never seen me lose an election twice, because I lose once, I never try again. But I went and I submitted last time. And it was like, you know, and I don't even care what they think of me. I passed out favors, the red flash drives we had. I passed one out to everyone. Yeah, it's bribery. I said, don't forget me, because I only asked for 30 grand. I mean, and these people are asking for all these cybersecurity, this and that, all these things that are so trendy. And so, you know, there's grant money, all that. And then I used the thing that from Steve about why we're not entitled to any money. And that, you know, we have to go through. And if that doesn't work, I give up. It's no more community service, you know, but we'll see. Maybe it'll go through and maybe it won't, but we'll see. Anyway, so who else wants to introduce? Who's next?
Francis Fletcher, Dean of Visual and Performing Arts and Language and Literature at Folsom Lake College. Thanks.
For what community college?
Folsom Lake.
Ah, okay.
You have a lot of departments. You
Yeah,
sound like you have a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. I could go next. Good morning, everybody. Michael Williams with Pierce College. I'm the Career Pathways Coordinator here, working with our CT programs and department.
Good to see you, Michael.
Yeah, same here.
And I can go next. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ana Soltero Lopez. I'm actually a new faculty at Fresno City College in the education department.
I love it. The mom line.
I can go. My name is Kristen Arps. I'm the director of our teacher prep programs at Hartnell College in the Monterey Bay area.
I'm just up the road, Nicole Kirby, Foothill College in Los Altos. I'm the Department Chair of Child Development and Education.
Are we doing the introductions?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Good to see familiar faces and some new faces. I'm Jane Bowers. I'm a project director for the teacher preparation Teacher Accelerated Preparation Program, short TAPP TAP at Antelope Valley College, and also math faculty.
I think Kathy's the only one who hasn't gone.
Yeah, I think so, Kathy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy Yoon. I'm a senior researcher at the Learning Policy Institute, and I'm just here to listen and learn.
Good morning.
Morning.
Has Brenda gone?
Yeah, Brenda is.
Okay.
No, sorry. No. I apologize. No, I'm sorry. I was confusing Anna with Brenda. Apologies. Brenda, I don't think Brenda's gone.
Sorry, I'm off camera today. I'm not
Okay.
well, but I'm Brenda Plasencia Carrizosa, and I'm co-chair of Child Development and Education at Saddleback College. And I'm new here, just wanted to drop in and listen.
Good morning. Hope you feel better. I've been sick too, so I get it. I'm starting to feel better today. So
and thank you so much, everybody, for introducing yourselves. I now as we kind of move forward, I know Bobby had an announcement, and this was in regards to something we had been working on prior. And I don't know if you want to give a little bit of background before, Bobby, but that's kind of the announcement we had, which is, I think it's really good news.
right. So yeah, we have the past 3 or 4 years, we've submitted budget legislative requests trying to get money statewide for all the TPP programs. And then the last 2 times I submitted via Bakersfield College, and I think it's all of our complaining year after year after year. We got news that they aren't really funding our legislative request. Instead, they put it into the request in themselves, the chancellor's office. And we were told that they're going to be, that it should be in the new budget when it comes out in April. So I think that's April. That it's going to be put forward as for 10 million ongoing, so that teacher preparation is in there, just like all these other programs that get money year after year after year. So hopefully this is really going to show up. It's supposed to be showing up in this next budget. So there'll be 10 million ongoing for teacher preparation. The word is that, yeah, I know, what a concept. The word is that they're going to sort of use our legislative budget requests as a guideline, that we put it in as to have hubs, like a lot of the different industry sectors do. So we were going to do hubs. I think we did 10 regional hubs.
Mhm.
I got to go through the thing again and make sure it matches and make sure it spends 10 million a year. I think I was asking for, like, what was the last amount I asked for? 28 million or something.
Yes.
So I got to make sure it that it's 10 million per year and how we want to spend it. So like I've said in other meetings, if you have ideas that you think are, good things to spend money on, I can, you can put them in the chat, you can email them to me. And I'll sort of make a priority list. I mean, we had money in there for personnel, but if you guys think we need to have, I don't know what the, mentors or whatever, I forget what, all the stuff we had in the budget. And if you want it, you're more than welcome to email me. I'm going to put the group email in there in the chat.
And just to kind of like, I think I'll answer. I've seen the chat, Bobby, and as I this is huge news, as you guys all know, because I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I mean, for every program, every college, we've known the struggle. I think we've been doing this for what, I don't know. With me, it's going to be now 12 years. I don't know what some of you, I think it's more than 12 years. But since I started with this work in teacher preparation program, this has been the struggle. And so to hear that they're actually, like Bobby mentioned, what a concept to actually consider education. It should have been from the beginning, but we are here now. And so it's a huge moment. So I really want to take the time and really, so for us to really acknowledge it and really sit with it. I think when I heard from Bobby, I couldn't believe it. I was like, but wait, are you sure? Like, are they
Yeah.
to always being a no? And so I really want to take the time to really just sit with it, appreciate the fact that we're actually being considered, and really a huge shout out to Bobby, because we all work together. And I know there's been a couple of back and forth emails trying to write this thing, and she is the one that really sat down and did all this work. So a huge shout out to Bobby. Thank you so much. And this is, aside from her being my friend and I love her, I think this is more like, her passion for teacher preparation program. So I really want to.
Yeah, Yadira, Bobby's been an intricate part of so many of our programs and the continuation of them. And as we've sat back and waited and, done what we could to support, not much, she's just always been at the forefront, and thank you for that, Bobby. Just thank you for leading the way. And
Oh, well,
so
thanks.
appreciated.
Thanks for the thanks, but Steve helped, our really good friend Kathleen White worked on it. I believe Megan worked on it. There's other people that worked on it. Kathleen White is retired. You guys might all know her. She was with the City College of San Francisco, but of course she just sort of took 6 months off, and then she got back in the game, and she's still
She'll
doing.
never retire.
She's usually at this meeting, but I think she had something else going on today. I can't remember. But yeah, she's not really retired. She's still out there. I did put in the chat the 23-24 budget legislative request that we submitted. If you want to download it from there.
Yeah.
If not, you can send an email to that Gmail account, and I'll send you an attachment that way.
And I think
that
Bobby,
was our last one.
Megan has her hand up, and then Sharon. Megan,
Okay.
you want to say something, Megan?
Oh, Sharon was first.
Oh, go ahead, Sharon.
I think this is fabulous news. I'm just wondering what we can do to ensure that it's an equitable process, because I've been doing this since TRDP. So that's a long time. And when TRDP was done, that's in the time of Gray Davis, some of us just hang on and, okay, we're not letting this go. And I get that. But what we see is that it's almost frowned upon when you ask for money. If you ask for, like my college, they're fine with, they'll give the courses. But anything else, it's just like, they won't do it. And so I think that we have to get in there that some of these programs need help for coordination and for implementation and all that. And that's just, you can't keep on asking other people who have 50 million jobs. Or, I have issues with full-timers who want to take over a lot of this stuff, and they say they'll do it. And so they get paid overload. And I'm sorry, there's not that many hours in the day. And it just gets complicated. So, and then you see that there's certain colleges that, and this sounds a little paranoid, but I don't mean it to be, but certain colleges that just, they get the money every time, and some others just do not. And so I hope that, I don't know how to decide, okay, $10 million, I don't know how that works. Is it a competitive process? Is it this? Because I think it was a rude awakening when last year, when I applied, and, teachers, all those fancy careers, they wouldn't be able to have people to do them if you didn't have good teachers. And so to put us as second to last, that is, it's just shocking. And that the school didn't say, oh, you know what, there's tons of stuff for cybersecurity. Maybe we should save a little money for teaching. Or, oh yeah, supply chain. Yeah, but how about teaching? And so nobody stood up, because I don't know, people are just scared to stay up and say, we got to save something for teacher prep. So this is, I hope that, and it doesn't mean, I used to say, well, I don't want grant money because teacher prep is too important to leave to the, the fickle nature of grant funding. But you see how that works. It doesn't work. So I just hope that there's some kind of coordination that considers everybody, and not just the big name colleges that are used to getting money for teacher prep. And that's it. I said, I'm lowering my hand.
I agree with you. And the one thing I like about the TPP group is that everybody seems to really care about that issue. Like when there's money, like that one time there was 10 colleges funded, and they were asking us you know, they were wanting to fund some for different amounts. We said, no, let's just split it evenly because we share amongst ourselves anyway. You know, like we would do stuff like I wrote a contract at El Camino to give College of the Canyon some of our grant money to fund that project director's travel and stuff because she didn't have enough money. You know, we find ways to share amongst ourselves, even if it's, you know, so I mean, that's what we want to happen. We want the money.
You've had
to
a
go.
concerted effort to really move away from keeping things siloed. And I think that siloing happens so often from the top down. And Bobby, you've always made sure that didn't happen, or done your best to make sure that didn't happen.
Wait, I got to say one more thing. The other thing is that a lot of these grants are based on enrollment. And so I don't know if your programs are like our programs, but we have, you know, we have so many different kinds of people in teacher prep, and we figure it's a victory. I had someone from San Jose State who blah, 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 they missed this and that. And so we have them into programs and they're going to get their credential. Fine. But are they counted on my chancellor's office statistics? No, because they've already had math. They already have 2 other degrees. They don't get an AA because they don't need one. And so, you know, it goes on. A lot of people may go to your school, but graduate from somewhere else. So to have it on what are those things, those measurement things? I mean, I have all these articles why that's ridiculous, but that's what's used all the time. So I hope that we consider, like in grant funding, that it shouldn't be based on these things. Efficiency measures, that's what it's called, because it doesn't hold true. It's not a true picture at all.
Yeah, no, it should be based on the needs of the individual colleges, what they need to make their program grow.
And every program is different
And
in
their
every
students
college.
succeed, and they're all different.
But they're all different.
I'd like to point out that Kathleen White just joined the meeting. Kathy, we were talking about you a little while ago.
No.
Yes, it was all good.
Where is she? Turn on the camera. We want to see you.
Am I on or no?
No.
No, your camera's not on.
I'm driving, so it's not very pretty.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, we don't want you to wreck.
Yeah.
All right. So Bobby, can you clarify? So the budget sounds like they're not putting it as a grant. They're putting it in the line item budget, meaning we don't need to ask anymore unless someone takes it away.
Right.
It's there every year.
That's what I'm told. It's supposed to be ongoing, not like a grant that we have to beg for every year.
Awesome. Who are you working with at the
well,
CO?
you know, our secret admirers, you know, anonymous source is our program monitor that used to be the program monitor for TPP, Cynthia.
Okay.
A lot of you know her.
So this is like an unofficial announcement, because
we've had some official meetings with the vice chancellors and stuff. So we have done some official meetings.
Okay, but they're not publishing it until it starts next fiscal year?
This
April.
Yeah, it should be coming out in this next budget.
Right.
Okay, in the next budget.
I'm sorry I missed that. It's the request that's now solidified.
Yeah. So Cynthia let us know that they're going to. It should be coming out in this next budget, and you know, the government, whatever the budget that comes out. And they're putting in for 10 million ongoing funding.
Wait, and this was already accepted, or this is what we want?
This is what, no, I asked for 28 million. No, I asked for more. But you know, it wasn't ongoing. It was for 5 years. So this is better. This is kind of better.
Yeah.
It will get ongoing funding like a lot of other programs get.
So Bobby, earlier you were saying you're taking, you know, suggestions about priorities, and we can email, and I'm sure you'll work with everyone who was writing it too. But just curious, like it was asking for like physical space and 10 hubs and staff to run it. And then I also heard us talking about what does the individual college need? So do you see us, like, do you see from your view prioritizing like the physical spaces or more the institutionalization at colleges?
I think it's really up to all you guys, but I was thinking more, you know, institutional issues, you know, for individual colleges, because it's about, you know, giving as much money out to as many colleges as we can so that you guys can use it for what you need to do. I mean, because like Yadira said that, you know, some colleges might need it to staff, you know, somebody, to hire a staff.
Absolutely.
Some might need it for, I don't know what, you know, pay for things for students.
Yeah, I hear you, because there's very few fortunate colleges who have an institutionalized point person, whether it's
Right.
just someone to do fieldwork placement. That's
Right.
a huge job. And then beyond
Exactly.
just fieldwork placement, there's running the program, trying to do some sort of cohesive thing if you're working with other departments or
Right.
cross-guided pathways. So yeah, I mean,
There are a couple of well, the one that springs to mind is Cerritos. They have so much of their stuff institutionalized.
and that's the
They've-
dream.
They've
Yeah.
had a private funder fund a lot of their stuff through their foundation and things like that. And so, yeah, they don't really need a lot of money.
Well,
And
I'm
they-
with you.
They've got a lot
Paul,
of staff.
in the thought of, you know, we just need a person at each college who's gonna be there and maintain the program. And then if
Right.
there's extra stuff, that's just the perks. But at the baseline, we're volunteering, you know, to
Yeah.
do, like you were saying. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for answering that.
Yeah. However, we can get that 10 million to stretch, you know, I mean, that can get, you know, people can get expensive, but some colleges don't need people.
And this would start in fall 2023 or the year after?
Well, when the budget comes out, what's that for? It's for
July, isn't it?
it's for July, I think.
July 1.
Yeah.
July 2023.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. It's usually July 1, but honestly, with summer,
Yeah.
things don't. and
It
board
doesn't always happen
approval-
July 1, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. board
And there's the July
approval,
revise that they do.
Yeah. Most
Yeah,
boards
exactly.
don't even meet in August, so it's really August.
Well,
Right.
and most funding, right? I mean, it's really the chancellor's office who has to come up with. I mean, we can advocate for what we want and need, but they really are the ones to structure it, right? And say this is how it's going to be
Right,
distributed.
but I was told that they're going to look to us to tell them how to structure it.
Okay.
Which is
So
good.
that's why we want to
Great.
kind of like
That's
tweak our legislative request, however we want to tweak it.
Wow.
And so we have it, you know, to give to them. Okay, 10 million here's how you should spend it. Because basically it's like they don't know anything about teacher preparation, even though they've been funding it off and on. They really don't know anything about it. And
No,
every
there's nobody left.
no,
It's only Cynthia and Katie. That's it.
right, exactly. And yeah, exactly. And they like they email me when they want, like, how many colleges have lab schools? I'm like, you know, I have a full-time job. I don't really keep track of that. You know, it's like, what? And you want that today?
But you know what? It's such a positive thing that we are going to be involved in this, because, you know, I'm thinking of the nightmare of yesterday when 15 people had to present for their, you know, through the career technical education thing for the grants. And they didn't tell us how much money there is. And so that some person had 7 proposals and it was like $250,000. And somebody else had, you know, it was up for computers and, you know, all this fancy stuff. And then it was no hierarchy to who really needs money and how many other opportunities there are. Because we've already established that there's very little opportunity for teacher prep, where if you look at, and again, I'm going back to cybersecurity, it's all over the place. You can go to any, you know, you can go to any grant database and they want that. Or everyone now, people that you never thought have heard of equity in their life, all of a sudden, oh, we need more equity in blah, 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 blah. And I get that. However, teacher prep has always been, we're not new to equity and we're not new to any of this stuff. And so I'm glad that we're gonna, we have taken active part, and that if there's a proposal that we have to write, that we should be given notice that we better write something, meaning for schools that need funding, because, you know, July, I mean, that's coming really fast, because when we did the other one, the last time I was involved with a very big grant, but we were a regional coalition in Orange County. We started in January in order to get funded for the next fall. And so
but this was, the proposal is pretty well written. I mean, it's kind of laid out. So I think it's just a matter of looking at what was requested. And I mean, people put in a lot of work on that ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it probably doesn't hurt that Bobby's president is now chancellor. So
I'm hoping.
well, of course it won't hurt. I mean, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, our chancellor of our district is now chancellor for everybody. Sonia.
Yeah, she's gonna have a special eye out, I think, for, I mean, it was just good timing. What can I say? We knew that would happen, right?
Yeah, we're psychic.
Yeah, psychic. So the proposal is well written. I think it's just a matter of looking at it and reinforcing what we requested and making sure that each college can utilize that funding. I mean, I don't think it needs a lot of tweaking, honestly. It just needs.
No, I didn't even mean that. I meant that the proposal is fabulous. And I saw the outline of it before.
Yeah.
It's the request from each college to say what
right.
Like, I'm not going to say, okay, I need $500,000 because I don't, you know, if I requested yesterday, 32,000, that is so mild because I was afraid, you know, last year I had 70,000 and they gave me 6,000. So, you know, that, which is crazy. So I just mean that if every college presents their position, that it, you know, that maybe people need help with their grant department, but, that it be thought out because the time it goes really, I mean, there's got to be a procedure and there's deadlines and etc. So it's a lot to think about.
Yeah,
but it's a great development.
It's very exciting.
I hope the people that where I presented my last chance, I said, this is like the World Baseball Classic, your last out. If I strike out, I'm done. Like the Dominican Republic, I'm watching the World Baseball Classic because I like baseball, and they were the best, you know. And when they got out, I couldn't believe it. And I said, that's what I felt like. I hope I don't strike out like they did, but I hope they don't see this proposal and say, well, she doesn't need this money, because you can't count on it. You know, I hope I do get that money, but I could always use more. Anyway, okay.
I wanted to, Kristen, you had something to say. It's so nice to see you, Kristen. I want to just share something super funny that I just realized right now. I can't even with myself. So I met Kristen at CCAOE. We had a wonderful conversation. We connected like super besties at CCAOE and all with her work. And, you know, we were at El Camino College working on some things and with CCE. And they're like, oh, Hartnell College. And they did this apprenticeship. And I even asked Bobby, like, oh my goodness, Hartnell. And it's Kristen. Yeah. And right now I realize it's Kristen. And so right now I'm thinking to myself, I can't.
Just didn't put two and two together.
It's sort of me. I can't take credit for the ECE apprenticeship, but yeah, Hartnell, we just got the standards approved last week.
Woo! That's amazing.
We're official.
Yeah. And kudos for you, because I mean, I'll let you share. I think this is phenomenal news, Kristen. I think it should be shared and everybody should know. It takes a lot of work. I think so, Kristen, and I'll let her share her big news, but they're one of the, so we're trying to copy her. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to copy.
And I'm trying to copy you because I also just got approval to use some Title V carryover funding to start a pilot mentorship program like you had, like based on yours.
Yeah.
So
let me know. I mean, why are we gonna reinvent the wheel? Kristen, please, by all means, I'll share what worked, what hasn't worked, what I recommend you do now, and what I recommend you stay away from. Absolutely, let's meet. But please share your news. I don't want to take your spotlight. It's such a beautiful program, and I'm super proud of it. Like I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much. Well, Kathleen can speak to it too. So yeah, we just the ECE apprenticeship, Hartnell is serving as both the LEA and the intermediaries. So it's been a lot of work, and it's taken about 1.5 years to get to this point. So we're super excited that the standards just got approved, and we're officially launching next month. Although they won't start in the actual courses until the fall, I believe, but they've been recruiting for like a year. So we already have a cohort, actually like 2 cohorts worth of people already. And another beautiful thing is that we're partnering with a couple of adult schools too, who one has a pre-apprenticeship program, and another one in Salinas just got one of the new CHI planning grants that was just announced last Friday for a new another ECE pre-apprenticeship program to have in partnership with the community college. So that's super exciting. And then my other news is Hartnell College, along with Cabrillo College, we joined San Jose City College to submit a regional proposal for a CHI grant for a teacher apprenticeship program. So an education, so different from the ECE apprenticeship program. So and Kathleen can speak to, I mean, there are so many current or now upcoming ECE and EDU apprenticeship programs across the state. It's really incredible. And at least in our region, I feel like ECE and EDU are really being elevated. I mean, they're really in the spotlight. And I just found out yesterday officially that like the K-16 collaborative work that's going on, our region, you know, there are 4 industry sectors that they're looking at, and education is one of them. And you know, I feel like we're just constantly having to explain why we exist and why we're important, but I think we're getting more opportunities to do that. And that's why, like, I appreciate getting to see this proposal, because I think it helps. The more we can do stuff like this together, we can have we can tell our story better, I think, or just in a consistent way anyway. So I appreciate you all and helping with that messaging. And also I attended CCTE virtually earlier this week, the SPAN conference, and Steve was there too. And I ended up in the Committee for Higher Education Zoom with staff from there. And I was surprised. I was the only community college person there, but there were 2 other people who brought up partnerships with community colleges before I even did. So
is it tide turning?
Yeah, it was like UC, CSU, you know, private higher ed folks highlighting those opportunities as well for partnering with us. So it does feel like there's I think there's momentum, and the more we can all take advantage of it, I think the better. But I think that's all my news, the apprenticeship programs, and the fact that we're going to start a mentorship program like yours, Yadira.
I mean,
so we'll be in touch.
Yes, absolutely.
Piggyback on Kristen's announcements, because it's related.
Yeah.
First of all, Hartnell rocks, and they're definitely a bright light in the Bay region. San Jose City really stepped up. They have, you may know Monty Phone Dickerson, but she was active in CCC AOE. She was a Northern officer at CCC AOE, and she's now the vice president of special projects. So her directive is to increase apprenticeship and increase pathways. So Kristen was in all those calls. She kind of bit this off, doesn't know that much about the sector, but put together a proposal that got funded. It's Hartnell and Cabrillo and San Jose City, and she just was well positioned and well motivated to do it. And I think, Kristen, you'd agree. I mean, this was new to her. You know, she's not a ECE person. I kind of fed her a lot of the language, but she was so willing to be the lead. And Hartnell was such a strong partner, and Cabrillo's a strong partner. They're interested. So that CAI education grant is going to be pretty groundbreaking. But I want to say that there were 8 others in our region that got funded. So that kind of brings the total to 15 colleges involved in sponsoring apprenticeships. And my moral of the story is hats off to BACCC. I think when a region prioritizes our sector the way our San Francisco region has, and funded people like me and John Dunn, who's the apprenticeship coordinator, things happen. So it has to do with our local strong workforce boards and our, colleges saying, yeah, this is an important sector and we're going to pay attention to it. And I think in the areas where that's happened, we've seen good things happen. I think in the areas where there isn't that priority or there isn't that commitment, you don't have that, I don't know, excitement. So hopefully this, I think Kristen's right, at least in our area, it's kind of, things start growing. They call it the tipping point. And the tipping point is when people start talking about something and you don't even bring it up. It's the tipping point is that it becomes like AI right now is at a tipping point. Everyone's talking about artificial intelligence. So I think TPP is like at a tipping point in some areas. So I think that having our local, regional consortium prioritizing this is really impactful.
Kathleen, and I want to just say that I completely agree with you. And I'm sharing this because I have been trying so hard with some colleges. And if we don't have the support of administrators, and I think, Kathleen, what you mentioned is so important because it does come, we can say all that we want. I can turn purple for all I care. I can wear stickers all over my face and I can go purple. But if my administrators don't support me or our higher ups don't support the program, it will not go through. I am living example of it, right? And so you have to have, like Kathleen mentioned, the support of the upper. They have to see it.
And the regional consortia, I think, have to prioritize it because then your deans, your CTE deans and your VPs will say, oh, if they're prioritizing it, must be important.
Must be, yeah.
Right.
Kathleen?
Oh, I just want to ask Kathleen, what is your official retired title?
I'm retired.
Well,
she took another job after she retired, and I forget what exactly it is.
No, I'm just consulting as the BACCC ECEDU regional joint venture lead. And it's, working with people like Kristen and Hartnell, Rosie, they've got a strong team there. And they're actually one of our stronger colleges in the region in terms of getting, stuff together. And it just goes to show you just need a few and they kind of break ground, lead the way. I think Hartnell's going to help Cabrillo get there too. Cabrillo's very interested and very willing, which is great, but they don't have a lot of apprenticeship experience. So you just need a few strong ones and then it happens. And it's going to, again, it's our region taking, prioritizing, voting to say, this is as important as cybersecurity.
And I also, and I also think it's not just the community college leadership, but we need to engage the K-12 leadership, the CSU leadership. Like they do all talk, and the more we can encourage our leadership to be talking with them about the importance, or if our leadership isn't listening, have the K-12 superintendents come to them and say, this is important to us. You need to be supporting this because they're depending on us. Sorry, Megan, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, I'd just like to echo that. I loved hearing what you all are saying. You're making me have a question, Kathleen, when you talk about like the regional priorities. I noticed in Los Angeles, they'll be like, oh, everyone that's in that group said who are allowed to apply.
Right.
So it used to be everyone can apply. Now they're like, well, these are the, I'm not sure of the number, but say the LA regional say there's like 5 of the priority sectors. And if you're not one of those, you can't apply for the regional strong workforce. is that like a choice that they get to make depending on it?
No,
And, like,
it's local.
It's a
The
local
priorities are local.
choice.
so that's kind of constricting, right? Like, it's,
Yeah.
Honestly,
play-
Megan, that toxic environment is a big reason why I left El Camino and went to Kern.
yeah, I know.
No,
So it's just challenging because we want maybe can someone from a region who breaks that mold and doesn't limit,
You know what?
come to the others as a guest?
You know,
Megan,
I mean, Megan, you're onto something because
Yeah.
we were never part of strong workforce, and then we were, and I saw that, you know, you do a proposal and it's like you have to go, it's so political because you go through this committee and it's people on your campus and the region who vote. And so someone else said to me, you better forget that they shut your money off like in March and you didn't know about it. And they say, okay, you're done. But that they vote for their, I mean, this sounds really childish, that they vote for their friends and you don't get in. You know,
yeah, it's a Mean Girls. It's a Mean Girls group.
It's a Mean Girls Club.
If we want to try to disrupt that, is there, like, I don't know all the words yet. I know maybe I should, but they're all
Or letter.
like like who's in charge of all the regions?
So Megan,
That's what I'm looking for.
If I could say that what will convince all regions though is your county, your centers of excellence data, because even our doubters, and we didn't have that many doubters. I have to say the Bay Region's very supportive. We have a lot of strong people who understand where the students are. In our region, number 2 in enrollment, we've been number 2 in enrollment. You know, we're up there, but you need the centers of excellence data. You need those data points to say, we have this many students. We are ranking in the top 5 in your region in enrollments, which we probably are everywhere. We are serving disproportionately impacted women. These are high, you know, need folks who need attention. And the jobs we're creating are for the most needy, you know, people. And you have to look at the number of jobs, the number of vacancies. The data speaks for itself.
But is there a person in charge of all the regions?
So, Megan, let me kind of, because you're in my region, we're LA, and I'm going to share something with you guys that we hadn't shared, and I'll go ahead and share it. And that's why I wanted to pick Kristen's brains. So we have a mentoring program at El Camino College. It's called the CPTP mentoring. We're going into our 3rd year. The main point of the program was to target and get teachers of color into the field. We started this project, Bobby knows. It's a lot of work. We started
through a Department of Education grant.
Yeah, 2017, 2018. However, long story short, we are here. We're in our 3rd year. We have surpassed our expectations of the program. It's been a lot of work, but it's also very, very fulfilling. And I think it now has led us to venture into apprenticeship, just like Kristen. And so when I tell you that your administrators have to be supportive, they have to. And so we are starting an apprenticeship program with Antelope Valley College. Hopefully we're kind of working right now. I'll let Kim share more on it because it's been a lot of work back and forth with Kim. And so to hear Kristen and know that it kind of went through. So I'm going to combine my mentoring program that I did at El Camino and the support I had from Antelope Valley, because Kim is all in for it. She sees the value. And we're so lucky that our dean at Antelope Valley completely supports us, and our vice president and our president. So when I tell you that it has to be from administration, Megan, it has to come from your president. We are not doing this through the local regional SWP. We're going directly through the Department of Labor. And so
did you already get this awarded?
It's right now we've gone through our administration. We are working very closely with the vice president and our dean, and we've got the budget set up. We're connecting with our local entities and moving forward with it. So
yay. So was that one of the ones that Bobby emailed was awarded?
No. No. This is
It's a different fund?
Yeah, it's a different. So, and what the reason why I'm sharing it with you, Megan, is because we are more than willing to share it once it kind of, we put it into fruition. What works, what doesn't work, you guys know. And Megan, you know, we don't know. This is like all of our work. I don't mind sharing it, what worked, how you should do it, and how you should go about it. I ended up facing a wall with SWP, especially at my college, because we can't even apply for Perkins at El Camino. And so I started kind of finding other resources to help students, and I ended up with the Department of Labor. And so that's another way that you can go as well. And that's how I came into Kristen's work. I started going into Nova, and I was like, okay, what? And so yeah.
And we're
so
so
I think
fortunate because Jane, may I interject?
absolutely,
Yeah.
please.
Jane Bowers is the director of the TAP grant at our college, and she's doing amazing work with the TAP grant. And so our hope is that through this grant, we also have another apprenticeship grant that is sunsetting this year. We've been working with ESEPs on. And so we're excited because the work that Jane is doing, this is something that when their grant sunsets, we'll be able to continue with her and the work that she's been doing and really grow. As a new chair, I've only been in the chair position 6 months now. We have not had opportunity over the last years to grow our education department as well as our child and family education department. And so that's the goal right now. We're developing new pathways, we're developing new degrees, new courses, and working some with the TAP grant in that, and following the lead of Jane, who's doing incredible work on that grant right now at Antelope Valley College. So kudos to her as well. She's been amazing in that role, and we're excited to watch and collaborate with that.
And again, this is just kind of like to see, like with all different entities, like if we come together, I think that's what's helping us. Just like Kristen said, I think the more that we do together, and the more that we kind of, right, Kathleen knows and I think Kathleen's been a huge advocate for apprenticeship. Remember, Kathleen, I think it was like 3 years ago, we were in CCAOE. She kept on mentioning, you have to do an apprenticeship with the dual enrollment. You have to do, but nobody will listen to me, Kathleen.
Wait, are most of them ECE or EDU? I mean, like the apprenticeships also in elementary schools?
Yeah. So it'll be both.
Yeah, it'll be both. And what's so wonderful about it, and Kristen probably knows this, they're having to build the apprenticeship program at the college so that when we build the pre-apprenticeship program, those students have something to go into already.
Right.
And it also encompasses individuals who are already in roles at the districts in K through 12, such as an assistant in the classroom or a para-educator, or after school. We have a fairly large after school program that the city of Lancaster runs. And so individuals who are in those after teaching or facilitating in those after school programs will also be able to enter this program. They won't be siloed in what I call it, Yadira, the group. I can't think of the term right now.
Sorry, my brain is all over the place.
It won't be a group of individuals cohort. That's the word. I'm sorry. It slipped my mind, but yeah, so it'll be their individual. That's what's so wonderful about this program. It will be their individual pathways, and we'll be able to support them regardless of where they are coming into their education. So
do you have a population that works and say, well, they couldn't do something like that because they have jobs?
That's part of the apprenticeship, is that it'll be through the district. The district will be part of this apprenticeship. Those jobs will count. No,
what I mean is, let's say they're not exactly full-time students, and they have jobs at restaurant or this.
Okay. So you're saying like those students who come in and can only do so. The whole purpose of this, really, if you think about it, was aimed to our practicum students. our practicum students taking child development, there has to be a certain amount of hours they have to complete, and our EDU students who have to do 45 hours of observation. It shouldn't be that our students have to do it for free because they need to get paid. A lot of the students won't take the class because they can't stop working. And so one of the main reasons that we targeted this kind of groups is to say, okay, you need to pay, you're getting the services from our students. They're going into your classroom. Yes, they need to do observations, but they're still working. And so the goal was to work with those centers already that we already partner with and say, hey, you need our students and we need you, you know, you're going to need a teacher after. So it's really relationship building, Sharon, and then getting those people on board to say, yes, we need your students, an agreement, an MOU. They would hire our student. And then
we already, all of us do, I think, if you have Education 200, we all do the 45 hours. So it's the same thing as the, you know, using the, but getting the students paid.
Yes.
And most of them go to the same, you know, the same area schools.
Yeah, so it's targeted to, so we're connecting with all of our feeder K through 12s. So everybody around Antelope Valley that, you know, like our students who feed into Antelope Valley, and so Lancaster District, all of these districts.
And that interconnectivity among faculty on campus and them bringing their expertise. For example, again, you know, Jane is connected with high school and with many of the individual disciplines, and where we are connected with, you know, K through 5, K through junior high, so K through 8, and so making sure that that collaboration is happening among faculty and our team, and that we're really utilizing the expertise of every individual and seeing the value in what each individual brings. Jane knows things that we don't know about, you know, the high school forum. We're very familiar with ECE and the K through, especially the K through 5, and we have many faculty members that work within our districts throughout our community. So just really developing, it really has taken shifting a lens from focusing only in our area and being very siloed to opening up to embracing the expertise of every individual and that intersectionality that needs to occur, where we're recognizing where we cross and are similar, but also where we differ and how valuable those assets are. So
that's a little bit of like what we're doing. Once we have it more solid, there's a lot of work, as Kristen probably knows. This is a lot of work, a lot of work. But again, when you're passionate about it, and I think we all are, that's why we're TPP. We don't see it like work. It has to be like, it's something that it has to be done. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I won't see it completely into fruition in my time. Maybe, I don't know, our future teachers probably take the lead, you know, once we put them in our places. But nevertheless, that's something that we can kind of do and go along. We will always share all of these processes here at the meetings and share with you all like what has been our experience. When it comes regarding to the mentoring, I don't mind putting together kind of like a little bit of a condensed version of what it looks like at El Camino, share it with this group serve on the listserv for emails, by all means. I don't mind doing that.
And Jane made a valid point in the chat over here, talking about how she couldn't afford, you know, to finish up the credential that she was doing. And that's what's so great about this program is it literally follows these individuals through their individualized pathway through their entire career. So it doesn't stop.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful because I went through, there are 3 stages in the teacher credential program, and I went through 2 stages, and then I couldn't finish the last stage because they asked me for 2 months, I think, 8 weeks. I had to do the internship at school for free, and I couldn't afford it. I just got a job as an adjunct at ABC, and I needed to pay the bills, you know. So I'm so glad that we're doing this for students to be able to finish their degree and get reimbursed for that.
No, absolutely. And I think that's for everybody. I think all of us here have like some type of our stories, like why we're here, right? I think we all do. I think Bobby's one of them. If you guys didn't know, and I'm going to share it now, Bobby was going to be a geology teacher.
Geography. The whole earth, not just rocks.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a huge mistake on my university's part. I was following this lesson plan they told me to follow, and 2 weeks before graduation, they said, "Oh, that was never approved." It's like, I have signatures. They didn't care. And they said, "Nope, you need these other 30 hours." I said, "I'm graduating in 2 weeks." They had me assigned to a school to do my student teaching and everything in the fall. They didn't care. They had to tell that teacher I wasn't showing up. And yeah, at that point, it's like, I can't afford anymore. I'm putting myself through school. You know, I can't take another 30 hours.
Yeah.
30 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
And you know, Sharon was talking about equitability in the work that we're doing. And I think that this is a perfect example. So many of our pathways support higher socioeconomic status families, you know, families that can afford to have their children go to school and not have to work and can support them while they're doing that. I
Yep.
think apprenticeships like this are so important because we are looking at our marginalized community and really supporting them through the process in its entirety, rather than just, hey, let's get you, you know, started and then you're on your own. So it just sees them through the whole process. And you know, we're just grateful to have a team that has knowledge from the beginning to the end of this project.
Yeah, it was really sad because you'd think that it was a new program. They didn't have that many students in it. It was a blended degree. You get basically a double degree in education and geography. And there couldn't have been too many of us in that program. You think they would have not, you know, remembered to tell me that they made changes. There weren't that many of us there. I think like 12.
And so why do you think that Bobby is in charge of the mapping? I see her work that like I see the map and I told her I have a headache. I'm gonna put my eyes
It's
out
just a
right
Google
now.
map. It's not that hard to do.
But not for you. She's like, she loves it. And so I can tell. And so to me, Bobby, as your friend and somebody that loves you, every time I think about like, you know, programs, I really do. Like, I think about like you, I think about me, our experience. And so it does really, that's what keeps me going, because the amount of work it's taking, it's insane. I don't even know if I can explain it. Kristen, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. It's just like tiring and insane. But I do it because I remember, like, I think about like, man, what would Bobby have done had there been a program like this? Okay, I'm gonna do it. Or like, what would I have done had there been a program like this? And so we do it.
You know, and the question that Megan asked about, you know, well, who's in charge of doing this? I think, you know, part of the question is not necessarily who's in charge, but what team members do we need to bring together to make this happen? How can we support each other as a team? And again, you know, instead of siloing the work, what team members do we need for this so that we can all be engaged and aware of what's happening in the program as a whole.
Right. And like Cynthia keeps telling me, we're going to have to be in charge. We're going to have to tell them how to spend the money, because the chancellor's office doesn't really know anything about any of the teacher preparation programs, whether it's ECE or education. They don't know. We're going to have to tell them. And they keep asking. They know they don't know anything, I think.
Well, when I started with TB, I knew nothing. If it wasn't for Megan and Shannon, I would not have learned anything about teacher preparation, because I was able to be mentored by them through a lot of the work that we were doing with the co-ops. And so thanks, Megan.
Well, thank people like Renee and Steve who told me all about it, and Sharon and everyone doing that work for so long. We are a team effort. I'm going to do my little announcement for ACTEP. I put in the chat the next meeting. We hope that you'll join us, members and guests. So it's another place to have these discussions. Our hope is to provide time for our regional groups to meet. We know that not every region has active CTE, strong workforce, etc. meetings. And as we wait for these meetings to be more regular, it's a really good opportunity for you to chat with people in your area and see what's going on. And we hope to have all our regions represented, and we might combine some if needed. But this Zoom's going to be really great for some updates and legislative information, a letter writing campaign as we seek to get more institutionalized. So we appreciate you and hope that you'll join in another venue.
I did want to mention that I know a couple other people have already dropped off the meeting, because I think we are over the hour we said we were going to meet. So I wanted to ask if anyone else had any other news they wanted to talk about. I know that on our agenda, we did have the Teach for LA virtual conference listed. Didn't know if Yadira wanted to, are you guys still looking for presenters?
Yeah, sorry, I was checking my emails. And I'll let, I think, Jane has a really important announcement. Jane, we should announce that, but I'll let her announce that. For the Teach for LA, our last day for presenters is today. I actually sent another email. If any of you are interested in doing a workshop for Teach for LA, let us know today. Of course, we say today's the deadline, but we know you can submit if you want to, please. Megan, are you signed up? Did you sign up? Megan? Okay. But Shannon, anything that you want to do too, it's the workshop. It can be whatever time you want via Zoom. Let me know if you're interested. We're open for taking more workshops. And wait, what else? So that was the that was the Teach for LA. Do I have anything? No, and that's really much it on what's happening. And I'll let Jane share.
Thank you, Dira. I wanted to share that follow the Teach for LA conference. We have a Teach for AV conference for Antelope Valley coming up on Saturday, May 13th. And we are making it informational sessions on Zoom, and we have professional development sessions for current teachers in person. And I'll send Bobby the flyers. The flyers are now ready, so I'll be sending it.
It's going to be great. So y'all should come. And if I can add on to that, we have a new position, full-time faculty position open for child and family education. Deadline for submission of the application is April 4th, Yadira, I think it was. You can check on that. And then we also have opened for adjunct faculty positions in education. So please submit if you're interested in teaching for Antelope Valley in our education department. We would love to have you. We need online instructors and specialists, and we need face-to-face. So we would love to have any of you that are interested in working or becoming part of our team. Jane, Yadira, myself, and so many others who are really incredible facilitators and instructors in education. We would love to have you join. So please.
So you mean yesterday, if I didn't close all the doors, I can come to you. I've been teaching online. I'm actually good teaching. No, that's very interesting because I get requests all the time. Some people are really good, and they might. I'm going to send them your way. They have experience, so that's good to know that you'd be interested.
So Kim, quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm interested in that, in teaching and education. So who do I contact?
Me.
Oh,
you can go
hello.
on the site. Also, there's a place to get your. If you want to drop your email in the chat,
Do you have
I can send
do you have the link? Do you have the link? Can you put it in chat?
Let me see if I can grab it. Let me see if I can grab it here. But
Michael, that would be phenomenal.
Michael, that would be amazing.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat now.
Okay.
This will be my personal Gmail.
We'll be sure to share it.
I put the link to human resources, to the Antelope Valley Human Resources on the website.
Thanks, Jane. Thanks so much.
Another.
You just muted yourself.
I need a shirt. Anybody else wants to share from their college?
I can share briefly. We got an apprenticeship approved in the fall. So we are working towards starting a new apprenticeship in fall 2023. And I am a floating island. Like I am the department chair. I teach all the classes and I do all of the apprentice stuff. So we might be looking for someone to help with administrative stuff in the Bay Area. So because it's a lot of work to take on. And so that's been keeping me busy. And we just had a full-time position close. So hopefully we get good applicants like Michael, because I wasn't able to advertise here.
That's right, Nicole. That's so great to
I'm
hear.
interested, Nicole.
It just closed. That's the problem. We're going into second interviews. So
Still
we had
interested.
a quick turnaround this time.
It doesn't matter.
We're open.
Yeah, we had a quick turnaround. So I put it out as many places as I could think of, but it would have been neat to put it out here too.
I was going to say, and if you guys want to email stuff to that email address I put in the chat earlier, I am the webmaster for the statewide site. I can put it on the calendar. Yadira and I can put it on the social media. We have LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook and all that. We can put stuff out for you guys.
Good to know.
Just send it
That's
to us.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, we'd be happy to do that.
I'm also noticing, Bobby, just looking at your list that you sent out, that a lot of the colleges in our area, some of the people have retired and things on that list. So do you want me to?
Yes, please. Because like I said, I did get some bounce backs and I've been trying to get people to send me the information to update that map and the list. Because it's like, I know some of this is out of date, but I don't really have a way. Honestly, some colleges' websites are not good. You can look up the program, but it has no names attached to anything. I don't know who it is that's running, whatever it is. So anything you can update would be fantastic, because I can't always just search for it on the internet. I can't find it.
Yeah, I will send you a little list of the local people that I know.
That would be great.
Someone mentioned guided pathways too. We've done a lot of work at Foothill about guided pathways. So I'll drop just our main webpage and it has links to our guided pathways if anyone was interested in that. I do try to keep up on the website so our information is current as much as I, the non-webmaster, can. So
yeah. Okay, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, I liked that suggestion that Megan had earlier of sometimes sharing about guided pathways and where we're fitting in at our respective colleges and how to leverage that work.
Yeah, because I just think it's so funny just to hear divisions, like who child development and education is under in the college on divisions, and then guided pathways is similar, right? It's like we can fit into this area or we can fit into that area or we can, so it is really interesting to see how people organize our departments.
Has everyone's college already flagged them in a guided pathway, or are you all still waiting to hear which pathway you're in?
I think Rio Hondo has already been flagged. Megan, I think with Leah, I think we're under education. I'll see, but I know that we've been flagged already. I don't know at El Camino. I'll find out and I can share with you.
I was surprised. I've heard that some like child development and education and maybe one other area are grouped together in a really small pathway for teaching. But then my college decided to do society and education. It's psych, social science, so many, like general reading, like it's so many things, it's huge. So I'm supposed to make a slideshow because I'm now the lead of our academic pathway, society and ed. And it's funny because I'm like, how do you even get like some icons for the slideshow to show all the things you can do in this? It's so big, it's beautiful, but it's like more of a challenge than I expected because it doesn't follow like a school's structure, which I think is great. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how broad they can be. But yeah, at our regional meeting, at that ACTEP meeting, one of the things we want our caucuses to talk about is stuff like that. And the P3 credential and like, what are you doing? And what is your apprenticeship like? So that just like Kathleen said, it's really strong in her region, folks can find out who's the point person with you. So we're trying to make deliberate space for those more regional conversations. but it should be happening all the time. So hopefully we do this a lot in lots of spaces.
Does anyone else have anything they want to say? Any updates, anything?
Just happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Happy
Megan,
St. Patrick's Day.
we're under education, actually. We're actually a sector
Oh,
in
do you have
education.
a little pathway with not too many?
Well, it's a little pathway, but it's education, but it has child development under it and
Yeah.
all the different
Great.
certificates. Yeah, so it's, that's where we're under. I don't know. I'll find out for El Camino. That's actually a really good question. Maybe for our next meeting, we can put something in the agenda on like how is everybody doing their guided pathways?
Okay.
But yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
if there's ever anything you want added to the agenda, just send that too. We just make up the agenda by things we know people want to hear or
Yeah.
news. Or
Bobby, when do you expect to run another meeting?
I
I
figured
know
I'd
you may
wait
have an
until-
update at our April ACT UP one, but
yeah. This is March, right?
yeah.
I was thinking we'd wait till after the budget came out so we could see
Right.
what's what but
Awesome.
if
Maybe
Is
like,
that
or maybe
May or
like
July or
May.
I was thinking May.
May.
perfect?
Yeah, sometime in May.
If you have, I know we try to do these on Fridays because many people are faculty and hopefully are freer on Fridays. But if there's a day that just doesn't work for you or a time that doesn't work for you, feel free to let us know. We can always do a doodle poll and see who can meet when and stuff if we need to. But we've kind of stuck to Fridays just because it seems like that people have the most freedom on Fridays.
That sounds right.
But okay, I'm gonna stop this recording.